I got that recorded.
So, Corinne Murray, Director of Customer Care for US Floor Care in Canada. I'm very happy to be with you guys for the next little bit, and we're going to talk a little bit about some organizational changes that we went through. I'll have an agenda to show you guys, and just kind of explain where we're at, why we're doing things, that kind of deal. So the theme is better support for better performance. Okay, so you guys have been with me for the past couple of years, and I appreciate you sticking around with Kent and I, who's filming this footage right now, who's behind the camera, that you can't see. We want to help you understand, the organizational changes that took place with Accelerate Plus. We want to give you guys a little bit of perspective there and help you understand why we want to be closer to the customer and how we're doing that, how we're going to communicate better, and how we are going to do better with less. Can't always do more with less, so we just got to figure out what we're going to do better and how we're going to do it really, really well. So, here are the things we're going to talk about. Organizational changes is up first. Available to promise is following that, and then we're going to talk a little bit about Net Promoter Score. After that, we're going to spend a lot of time just doing questions, right? It's a dialogue, because Lord knows you're going to get talked at a lot over the next couple of hours. So I want to give you guys the opportunity to voice any concerns that you might have with anything, and we can walk through that. Fair? Fair?
Yes.
Thank you, Paul. Okay, so here's the new org structure. I want to give you an idea of what that looks like. Previously, we had Kent, who was managing the tech service and warranty business. We had Stacia Potter, who was managing the customer service business. And things shifted a little bit when Accelerated Plus came around. So we are going to talk to you guys a little bit about the changes. So first things first, walk you through who all of these folks are who support you. First person, Chuck Bellow, is a slender dude with no hair and thick glasses, and you guys will be seeing him wandering around here. He's our data guy. He's the one who's going to be supporting our phone systems, doing a lot of analytical stuff, testing for our LN systems, and kind of our subject matter experts for everything in the department. He still reports in through me. There's a guy named Kent Heeman who has changed roles, and actually a really interesting change and a great challenge. Kent's been with the organization for a little bit of time, and is going to be taking on Canada from a customer care standpoint. And he's already started to do that, and he's doing a great job. As well as the inside sales team. So the inside sales folks and the Canada customer service reps previously reported into me, and Kent's going to be tackling that going forward. Now, he's going to still be involved with the US floor care business in a lot of different ways. That's something that Kent loves, and probably, it would be very difficult to take him away from that, right? So you'll still see him floating around, but making sure that the inside sales folks are offering you the best support when, getting you those leads, that kind of thing. What kind of programs can we come up with? So Kent's tackling that. Dennis Gartner. Who's ever worked with Dennis before? Paul, for sure. Stephen? Yep. Kelly? Okay, good. Shirley, of course. Dennis is previously handled the dispatch team, the service dispatch team, so all of the national accounts that need service. He would handle getting the service out there, using Lars's text and that kind of thing. He's also now taking care of national accounts customer service. One of the things in customer care that did happen with Accelerate Plus is the elimination of a position which was a national account customer service supervisor. His name was Justin Coddington. His last day was with the company January 1st, right? So that position was eliminated, and Dennis is now absorbing the business. And from a support standpoint, I think he's going to do great. He's just fantastic. He's very passionate about the customer. So I do think that you're going to get just as good support from a national account standpoint. Cindy Boldenau, she's still our dealer customer service supervisor, still manages that team. We have Stacia Potter, who's taking on a totally different role. If you didn't know, Stacia actually was a Six Sigma green belt, and she's going to be managing process and projects for the organization that's very customer focused, right? So helping us execute against better customer experience. Tim Doberstein is still the warranty supervisor, and Andy Chicks, he is still our tech service supervisor. Okay? So why do we make these changes? Streamlined reporting structure, we wanted to have a little bit closer to the customer. So now I have supervisor, customer service rep, which is, frontline, right? They're as close to frontline as you can get if you don't include you guys in this room, right? Also too, we want to have key focus on customer-facing projects so that we can drive a little bit more action there. Frankly, I haven't had the time to get things done as best as I would have liked. Please hold your questions till the end. It's Joe. Does nobody raise their hand?
I did have a question.
Oh, okay, Paul.
We used to have for our region a person that we could call directly.
Yep.
And she moved.
Yep.
Is that something that we can get back? I just think it works great for each region to have a go-to person to call, so that, again, if we need who we need to talk to, I need to talk to this person or that person, because obviously the chart's great, but I won't remember half of that by the time I get home. Of who I need to talk to for what, so actually having one go-to person to help. So it was nice that she was on our time to talk a little bit, not every day, but at least a couple days a week she was.
Yep.
So it made it great, because then she knew who we were when we called, didn't have to try and explain who we are, what we're doing, why, how come.
Good question.
So,
Yeah, Malika. So definitely.
She did a great job.
She did a great job, and I know Michael Frios's group was in here beforehand, so they did bring that up.
Okay.
So one of the things that we need to do is make sure that we have a team member that can stay their shift a little bit later. Right now, we don't have anybody. Malika was the only one who could, right? So whether it's through attrition, so if somebody wins a lottery on our team and then we hire somebody back, the intention is to hire somebody with a later start so that we can have a West Coast support person a little bit more readily available for you. We're just not there yet. Yesterday, we spent a lot of time with the aftercare experience team documenting all of the challenges, all of the needs that the organization has that we could come up with. We came up with about 150 different Post-it notes. One of those Post-it notes did say West Coast support, okay? So it's on our minds on how we can do that. Good. Okay, so the next one, 2 years ago. Brand new in my role, Director of Customer Care for like 5 minutes, and I'm like, we're gonna do Available to Promise. Well, digging into the program, 2 years later, right, we now find out it was incredibly complex. But I'm happy to say that we've activated a lot of parts on ATP, which is what we're going to call it. I'm going to walk through that with you and let you know that very soon in the near future, on all of our order acknowledgements, we'll have an estimated ship date for our customers to see after the order's placed. Okay? This is a really good thing.
Accurate?
As accurate as we can be, right? So that's what I'm going to talk about. First thing, so if we place an order for a particular line and it's in stock, it's going to demonstrate essentially today's date, okay? If it's not in stock, it will demonstrate the next inbound purchase order date. If there's no inbound purchase order date, let's say it's a really infrequent moving part, right? So you gotta remake it with a supplier, that kind of thing. It's going to use the lead time built in that part number, okay? So it's going to use one of those 3 pieces of intelligence. There was an exercise that our planning team did to update all of our lead times to make sure that they're as accurate as they can be, which I think they went through, thousands of SKUs through a bunch of different suppliers, right? So that's to your point, accurate. So now this is live on a lot of parts from the USDC, okay? Brooklyn Park is a different story for manufactured machines, but I don't think a lot of you guys really work too much with Carlos, but that's going to be something else. Most of it's just USDC. So, what does that mean for you? That means that at the time of the order, whatever that date is, that's what will be given to that customer, okay? So that's a step in the right direction. Now what we need to figure out is once we launch and have that on our order acknowledgements, how do we proactively inform customers when those dates change? Because they will, right? Those dates are not concrete. We could please the customer by shipping them sooner. We could please or displease the customer by, having a delay. So how do we proactively inform the customers of that? And that's something that we'll be using the aftercare experience team to figure out a way to automate it, because frankly, we just don't have the bandwidth to proactively call out customers every single time there's a change, okay? One of the changes that occurred over the past year is we went from about 52 employees to now about 43. So it still seems like a lot, but the work hasn't changed, and we still have less, right? So we gotta figure out how do we automate so that we can make your experience better, we can communicate better.
So what will it take for you to build a expanded department to get those 9 people back?
Keep growing, Paul.
Just sales?
Keep growing. Yep, absolutely. Keep growing. No pressure.
With technology, do you need those heads back?
What's that?
With technology, do you need those heads back?
You know, if we can get some technology, good question, Jim, that would automate some things, no. You know, if we had a way to have, all right, here are all of the updates on your lines, and then proactively communicates to the customer in one fell swoop versus like 18 different communications per day, no. You know, but there are other things we're gonna have to figure out, so we're gonna get there. It's definitely on our list. Okay. All right, next one. Who knows what NPS stands for? Ooh, very good. If you remember the slide, the agenda, you probably know the answer, and hopefully you guys all do. Does anybody know what it is?
Are you rated by your
Sure. And how does that rating work, Paul?
You gotta get, basically get a 9 or a 10 and out of it. You have to remember.
No, you don't just want a 9 or a 10. You want truth, okay? And Vino Veritas.
Can you handle the truth?
You can't handle the truth. So what we want, it's a scale of 1 to 10. Actually, it's from 0 to 10. How likely would you be to recommend Nilfisk to a business colleague, right? I don't really care what the score is. Neither does anybody else, right? We want to know what they actually think. That moment in time captures the feeling, the perception. It actually makes the anecdotal factual, which is really cool. So all of the emotions that you try to express with like inventory or the customer's experience with whatever, customer service, whatever it could be, it generates a fact-based thing because it's a survey, it's got some data there, and we can see how we actually perform against
But
it.
it also depends when you gave them that survey.
Oh, totally. Yes, it's a moment in
Had a
time.
big sale, yay! Having a problem with a broken machine,
Boo! Right. Well, and we definitely get, we know. So there's,
Oh,
If we-
just me again, sorry.
no, it's cool. If we have a detractor, do we treat those differently than a passive score? Yeah, definitely. We want to understand why are you a detractor, and then we can use that to elevate. Here's the cool thing though, and I'm gonna walk through a couple of things. Our score for 2016 was 59, and that's actually pretty decent. So especially for a manufacturer, they don't really get up to like the 90s and the 80s like a Harley Davidson or an Apple would have, because I mean, we sell floor scrubbers. So it's not as sexy. But what's really important is the response rate. For our distributors, we want to make sure that we have a 60% response rate. And so that's the goal. We want to make sure that they're responding and giving us an accurate rating, okay? Score, not anywhere do we have a score goal, okay? Here's what actually is cool, because we haven't done as much as we wanted to drive that data, to drive change, because we're chasing these surveys on a monthly basis. Now, that means that every single month, I'm getting with Mr. Van Essen saying, all right, is this the contact that's right? Is this, okay, great. Make sure that they respond. Did they respond yet? No, they didn't respond. Get them to respond, right? And then it starts up again as soon as that next month comes. So we're actually shifting it at a global level to a quarterly survey. The quantity of surveys they're gonna be the same, amount for like each month. It's just happening once per month or once per quarter, which is nice. Surveys will be sent in March. You're gonna see Chuck Bevelow, the slender guy, no hair and glasses. He's gonna be checking with some of you, probably starting with you, Matt, to just make sure that those contacts are the right contacts, and then so that we can get those response rates going well.
And it's all the same grouping of distributors, right?
Yeah, we use the top 80% financial, financial performers.
Within that region?
Throughout all of municipal care, right? So, yeah, whatever falls in your region. What's that?
He said nothing in Montana's gonna get it.
Well, I'm just curious how you generate that review. I mean,
Sure.
I've had my territory for a little over a year now. There's some dealers out there that I have not even worked with, only, maybe because of lack of communication or they don't really sell.
Yeah.
Clark brand. So, if you guys are selling a review to, those guys, they're gonna
It's the top 80% in aggregate from all of the U.S. business,
okay.
from a financial standpoint, like who sold most of our equipment. So if they're customers who sold like $30,000, they're not gonna be surveyed.
Okay.
And so we'll get.
So how true is that? Because I've had reviews from like, sanitary supply, 8 grand Junction, and they sold about 180,000, so it would be a top 80.
Depends, we could look. We could
Okay.
look.
I just, yeah.
We'll get the list. I'll-
Yeah, we'll get the list.
Before we send it out, I'll send it.
What?
We'll have to.
We'll table it
Oh,
though,
no,
but
it's
sure.
great, it's great.
Yeah. No, great question, let's table it for now, okay?
I'll get the list, everybody.
Okay, here's my stupid clip art. So, the main reason that I wanted to zip through, I guess you could say, a lot of the slides that we just covered is because I want to hear from you, how are things going? I want to give you an opportunity, an outlet, if you will, to share what you're seeing. And, even if it's critical in nature, I want to know what that is so that we can make sure that it's on that Post-it note I talked about and that we work on it. And I probably have things that I haven't covered with you of things that we're already working on as well. So, anybody have any comments or? Yes, please.
You ever track like the quantity of calls that you get from the field reps throughout the day that, maybe I speak probably for a lot of us generally would want to figure out the information ourselves, don't have the resources to do it.
It's a good question. During the national sales meeting, calls reduced about 30%. So we handle on average about 800 calls per day, 800 to 1,000 calls per day. So, yes, we don't track it, to your point, we've just, no, it's not just national sales. Those are the calls that come through the queue. And
30% are from our ends.
just from sales. Yeah. Call and queue. So when I say that, when we have the national sales meeting or we have ISSA, the customer service team, they actually can get more catch up a little bit. There are more self-service options that need to be available for you guys, but there are a lot more things that need to be available for your customers, so you don't have to answer those questions, right? So having better visibility on customer zone, or more functionality there, or more proactive communication. If a date we confirmed to that customer changed, it hasn't shipped, they're calling you. That shouldn't happen. They should know from us,
Sure.
right? We'll work on it.
And then is there, please have a quoting tools for freight available to us yet at all?
That's handled specifically through the USDC. So there's no online quoting tool that's actually really user-friendly at this point in time. I believe that that's something that's probably going to change, but I don't have any confirmation at this point yet. Definitely a good question. Good question. This is exactly what I was looking for, so you get a gold star, right? Good job.
How are we supposed to compete with that?
Is that a question that you want me to answer?
There you go.
Steven Sertel.
So you could reduce your staff by a further 10 people if these guys don't call you, right?
I think 30%.
No. 30%. Because I didn't talk about the off-phone activities, Steven, that we haven't been able to get to.
How does customer service work with the supply chain on behalf of our customers?
It's a great question. It's a very loaded question.
That's why I asked.
So the question was, how does customer service work with our supply chain on behalf of our customer? Depends on the situation. If it's a standard parts order, we're just going to key that order in and let it roll, let the system happen, right? But if you send something in and you have a very hot order or something along those lines, with the exceptions of some big screw-ups that have happened, right? We're going to contact the DC, say, this particular machine needs to ship in this particular manner with this label on it through this freight forwarder or through this carrier and has to deliver on this date, right? That happens a lot more with national accounts, I'd say. So we do interface there. There are some examples where they actually see a date and it says April 1st. April 1st for a pretty frequent part. They'll immediately request an expedite on that, right? Especially if you're asking that it ships right away and we're not seeing the inventory. They are going to request that things speed up a little bit, okay? Freight claims, they do all of the freight claims with the USDC. We send all of that over there to make sure that any sort of lost revenue we can capture in some sort of way. But they do everything they can within their power, and if things are outside of their power, then they get with Kent, they get with me, They get with their supervisors, Cindy and Dennis. Yeah, good question, Stephen.
What is the process to get industrial machines expedited? I realize it's our standard lead time, 20 days, that's what we tell our, that's what we tell us, that's what we tell our customers. However, the customer says, I need it in 15 cycles,
Sure.
but we can't seem to do that.
Good question. It also has to do with capacity too. So let's just say you need it in 15 days and the standard lead time is 20. It could be that they don't have a part on the line, and if there's a part shortage, that's actually a really big reason why they couldn't expedite.
And is there an actual expedite list? For instance, so the person I go to, customer care, says, okay, well, let me talk with production and see if they get the machine. I don't see that communication. She comes back to me and says, sorry, there's no wiggle room. It is that day.
Yep.
But has it now been at least placed onto an expedite list, or was that just a one-off conversation she had with production, she didn't get the answer she wanted, and then it's been forgotten?
No, I think it's probably the latter. Like, they had a conversation, including Dennis, including me, and we couldn't make that jump happen. It could be because Europe has a bunch of machines on order that they committed to. We can't touch that. One of the things that we have talked about, Paul, with Marty, is how do we prioritize customer orders from like a national account perspective, let's say, industrial or commercial. How do we choose who gets the front of the line in hot situations? And how do we inform everybody else of, okay, your order is going to be delayed? Because that's a problem that we're facing right now today, beyond just industrial. There are many reasons why that I could tell you about why that expedite didn't occur, that I could certainly do over an alcoholic beverage because I think it would be more enjoyable. But it's boring, but it's true.
But again, the list, the whole idea is just getting it onto the list, so
Yes,
so
it's
it's
on.
not just not another order in the system, but rather it's on the list.
We have a Monday, Wednesday, Friday conversation in person with Christine and with Emily, who are our two industrial specialists, as well as Dennis and Cindy, who go to the production facility in Brooklyn Park and say, these are our hot orders, are we on track? These are our orders, can we bump this up? No, we can't because it would compromise Johnny's order or something like that, right? But then we need to get Marty involved, can we get this approved? Or the new Matt guy, Matt and Ed have to fight it out. So it's a process. I don't have like a yes or a no answer for you because the production facility knows which ones are the hot ones. They definitely do.
But then there's a list for them to know that.
Yeah, it's
So how
more.
do I get on that list?
How do we get on the
How do
list?
you get on the list when you need to be on the list is
Sure.
ultimately the question.
Process is loose, so we're gonna have to figure out a way to make it more openable on how to get on the list.
You asked Christine, and Christine wants to know.
Yeah, but he wants to know beyond that.
That's your answer. Take or leave it.
He's Paul, right? He wants on the list.
Johnny?
Any Paul should be on the list.
Is there a way to kind of automate more or adjust the ready to ship list so it's accurate?
Just had a conversation about that. Marty, I was not in this meeting, but I heard about it. Marty, Ed, Jamie, Andy were all on a meeting to try to update that ready to ship list so that it's accurate and so that we actually have something that's ready to ship within a 24-hour time frame.
Or products that we're selling ready to ship.
Right. Exactly. I mean, so that's a meeting that happened last week, and I don't know the result of that. But it's a conversation that we're having right now. What's that?
It seemed like that program was a hot thing last year and this year.
Yeah, I think it had to do with just some inventory challenges toward the end of last year, why it hasn't been discussed much. It's 1:43, so only a couple more questions.
Real quick, cost support through John. Do you want us to send him a request before it comes to you?
So,
Because
process,
sometimes I don't even know the dealers are doing it. They just put in the order and all of a sudden I would get a call from you guys and it says, hey, did you approve a deviation?
sure, so if you have a deviation that you're actually, you know I'm deviating this order, send it to Matt, Matt will send it to John, get the approval, and then John will send it into customer service and we'll enter it. If we get a
That's a perfect world.
Yes. If we get a customer's purchase order and it's something you just didn't get that deviation ready because you're flying home or whatever, that's when we reach out to you saying, did you want, or we reach out to the customer saying, this isn't right. And then they say, no, Brian told me, and then we go through that process,
Would
so.
that, maybe I know you're gonna supply works, do you,
There's an opportunity for
there
deviation
are
there.
no,
on week
the
two.
Hilliard deviations have to go through me. So they don't go, so it's Matt and I to decide that, only because of the program that they're in. So we gotta make sure that if we're continually doing that, they'll come back to us at the end of the year and go, hey, you know, you guys, because they're really good about technology on their end, you deviated this thing X number of times, that should be our price, because that's the market price.
Okay, so it's 1:44. Thanks for your time, guys. Thanks for your continued support.